Hey everyone, I'm Dara Exter, a Double Diamond affiliate out of Taos, New Mexico, and I'm so excited to be here with you all for our very first Prime My Body online conference. I want to talk to you today about hitting the ground running, even if you can't run, how to really get started with power and build a thriving business here in Prime My Body. Many of you know my story that I was very sick before I started here, and I literally could barely walk for many, many years. It took me several months to be open to this. Many of you have heard that story too. Dr. Aaron probably had to reach out to me 15 to 20 times, and I kept saying no. And so we always have to remember that a no is just a not right now. It truly is. So when I finally said yes, my clarity was crystal clear that I was going to do this and I was going to transform my life. I was going to transform my life out of suffering into joy, into thriving, into expansion. I was going to transform my life back so that I could return to things that I had to stop doing. I had to stop being a midwife. I had to stop farming and doing massage. I stopped hiking and backpacking and playing tennis and dancing and playing guitar and so many things that brought me so much meaning and purpose and joy to my life. When my son was 2.5 when I started with Prime My Body, after he was born, I largely stopped leaving the house. I was very, very much struggling. And so when I heard about this, right, I said no for almost 3 months. Why did I say no? Because I couldn't even imagine having the energy to do this. I was really sick. I was in a super stressful financial situation, and I was in a very, very unhealthy relationship with my son's father. I actually started looking on Craigslist for houses to rent when my son was 3 months old. I knew I needed to make a change. I promised myself that I was going to move out of the house by the time that my son was 2. And I really meant it. I was committed to finding a place where we could have a peaceful home and a joyful home and a calm home and a safe place for him to grow up. And then I found out right before he turned 2 that I could have foot surgeries to help me be able to walk again. And so I had to put off that decision to move. But I knew I was going to do it. I held the vision. I had no idea how I was going to be able to. I did not have the financial resources to make it happen. And I literally feel for me like Prime My Body I was down in a crevasse, and Prime My Body was the rope to literally pull me up. And so for me, what I needed to say yes was getting information about the product. And I can tell you that, Dr. Aaron, my other dear friend, the people that reached out to me about our company were thinking about me around the business. They were like, Dara is so stuck financially. She's going to want to do this because of the business. And that didn't grab me. What grabbed me was the product. What grabbed me was being able to change my life from the inside out and then be able to help other people do that. So it took a couple months for me to get clear to where I was like, you guys, I need to know about these products. If you want me to do this, I have to feel totally comfortable. And then I finally got the information I needed to be able to say yes. I came from zero MLM background or experience. I have no business experience. I get extensions on my taxes every year and sometimes don't even make that. I am not a solid business person. For me, this was coming into a fresh experience. It was making a decision and then acting with 5,000,000% effort. It was creating the vision and then making my list in order to manifest this vision happening. I have only enrolled 47 people in my 3.5 years. I am becoming a master recruiter. That's my mantra, but that hasn't been my strongest suit. But what has made me successful here is that 5 of the people that I enrolled ran out the gates with me and all ranked emerald or above in their first 6 months. And so we did it together. And now what am I doing here? Well, I have this vision to help other people have the same transformational experience that I did. That's what it is all about for me, right? If I can change one life the way that my life was changed, then I have done it. I get to help other people feel better in their bodies and their minds so they can take better care of themselves, better care of each other, better care of the earth. We get to help others to create this financial abundance so that they can also be liberated from life situations like I was that they feel stuck in, you know? So that kind of a big vision or something similar has to be what fuels us, because if we're focused only on ourselves, we're not going to create that kind of longevity and traction in our businesses. So how do we achieve this? I want to know what is fueling you to be here. What do you really, really want? I want you to take a second, take a pencil and paper, jot it down in a note on your phone, write down why you are here, what your biggest vision is that pulls you, right? You're going to get really clear on that if you're not already, and it's literally going to pull you forward. So we're laying the groundwork of what our calling is first. Then we are anchoring that into our team, into their vision. So we want to get crystal clear on the vision, on the why of our top 5 to 10 leaders, and know it like the back of our hand. And we know we are doing this together. This is what we are running for, because we honestly cannot succeed here if we don't lift others up. And so that's my story and where I've come from. And now I want to share with you some of the tools of how I made this happen. So I talked about making my list, and I literally made my list like my life depended on it. And I found this in my notes on my phone, and I wanted to share it with you guys because this list I made on January 3rd, 2017. This was 5 days before I even enrolled. I knew I was enrolling. I wasn't quite there yet. And I made this list. And look who's on my list. Annette is at the top. Karen and Wendy at the top. Richard K, we're still working on getting him in. Karen and Wendy and I had breakfast with him a couple months ago. We're still working on it. Aaron Wild came in and is an incredible Emerald leader. My best friend Sammy from childhood was at the Austin Regional last year. Mary and Lori both hit gold and emerald and were incredible leaders in the company. Brenna is an emerald in Hawaii. Word is our friend from massage school that we're still dripping on, and he's hopefully going to join us here any day. It's been, 3 years in process of prospecting him. Anna came in through Annette's team. Those other people, I'm still dripping on. My friend Lily's on there. She was never going to do the business, but she's a practitioner. She runs an incredible integrative clinic, and she's a naturopath. So she's now part of our company as a practitioner doing the practitioner packs. Multiple other people on this list came in. It's like you make that vision and then you hold on to it until it happens. You keep contacting people, you keep dripping on people until it comes to fruition. So I really encourage you, if you already made your list, go back and make sure you really meant it. And if you haven't done it yet, then do this and do the following of what I'm going to share with you. So I talk about this on every single welcome call. So maybe you've already heard this, but I think it's really important. I always encourage people to make their list. For some people, that might be kind of overwhelming. Like, okay, how am I supposed to try to get 100 people? Who's who? And so I like to break it down like this. This is not like in order of importance. All 4 of these categories are very important. Think about all the entrepreneurs that you know. That's what I did. I thought about real estate agents. I thought about people with previous network marketing experience. I thought about people who just own their own business. I thought about people who maybe are in corporate sales, branding, things like that, speakers, life coaches. So thinking about anyone with an entrepreneurial spirit. Then thinking about any health and wellness practitioners. You can think Western, doctors, nurses, any kind of physician, osteopaths, mental health care workers. Then we're going to think more holistic: yoga instructors, massage therapists, acupuncturists, chiropractors. We can think about fitness instructors. There's so many influencers on Instagram in the fitness and the wellness world. So anybody in the healthcare field in any way. Then we're thinking about people that need the product for themselves or a loved one, which, as we know, is every single person. Everyone is deficient in their endocannabinoid system. We want to help people feel better. When you start sharing this, people are going to either want it for themselves or they're going to say, oh my gosh, I've been wanting to get some of this for my son, for my spouse, for my aunt, for my grandpa. So thinking about people that are going to need this for their well-being. And then also thinking about people that already use or work with hemp and cannabis, right? There's a huge legal hemp industry. There's a huge legal cannabis industry. A lot of people are in this, spending thousands of money, lots of risk, lots of stress to start their own brands, start their own grows. Some people are just using these products and would want to know about ours because there's nothing as pure, clean, and available to ourselves as what we have. So this is kind of the way that I like to break it down to really help people make a powerful list to carry their vision through. And then we can think of, why are each of these people that we're going to be reaching out to going to be inspired to come and inspired to stay? And I'm giving you all this because this is what I did and it worked. And so I want you to do it too. So I love this. Aaliyah Faith Rogers, amazing gold affiliate. She gave me this. This is hers and she gets full credit, but I love weaving this in with the 4 categories of people to invite, because each of those people are either going to want to be here for the product, for the business, for the community, or for the personal growth. And maybe it's going to be a combination of those things. But our job is to get resources to these people, right? So if it's someone who we know is going to be super interested in product, maybe it's a healthcare practitioner, we're going to send them one of Dr. Aaron's presentations. We're going to send them maybe one of Dr. Ron's talks that he's done on our company Zooms, or one of his videos from the app. If it's someone who wants to know about the business, maybe we'll send them something that features Austin and JT. If it's someone that wants to know, is going to be pulled because they want a greater community, then maybe we're going to send them to one of Ricky's amazing overviews he does, where he brings the community together in such a powerful way. Lots of people are doing this, not just him. And then if there's a personal growth kind of a person who's like, loves seminars, loves growing, then send them to something that Tom McCarthy does, or a recording of what he did, right? He started the Robbins Foundation with Tony Robbins. This is his thing. Erin Pollinger, also her coaching calls, Ricky Mendez, these people work in mindset. Wendy and Karen do too. There's so many resources here that are available company-wide. Use them to identify what the person on your list is going to be most interested in, right? That you're intuitively knowing, and then you're matching them up with this resource. And so then we're gonna make the invite. We are going to reach out to them. We're going to keep it so short, like 2-3 sentences max. So simple. I just found the most incredible hemp products ever. I really want to share them with you. Can you jump on the phone with me? I want to send you something. Can you watch it? Do you have 10 minutes? So quick. And convey your passion, convey your enthusiasm, and then let everything else do the work for you. Your job is to be the master connector when you start. Even if you know everything about everything, you want to use the resources and then use your business partners. So we're going to invite them really briefly. We're going to resource them with one of the things that I just talked about. And then we're going to say, hey, as soon as you're done with that, let me know. And I am going to get you on the phone with one of my business partners. I can tell you that this is what I did. I got everyone on the phone with Dr. Aaron. I mean, everyone. Like for almost 3 months after I started, she literally did every single call for me and my entire team until I was ready. And I still wasn't even ready when it was time for me to start doing my own calls. But I did it. And so I want to then talk about, once we invite, then we're going to be following up. And I want you in your mind to plan for a minimum of 7 to 10 touches, and at an absolute minimum, right? I showed you some of those names on that list. I've been dripping on them for 3.5 years. And I continue to, because I know at some point that no is going to shift into a yes. Some people like to go about the follow-ups organically. I did this for a long time. Just when I think about someone, when I see them on social media, it reminds me of them. I reach out in an authentic way. That's more how I go in flow. Other people, which I could benefit from, do things more strategically, right? So maybe they have an Excel spreadsheet of all the follow-ups that they're doing. I sent them this video. I texted them to see if they watched it. I made a phone call. I invited them to the company's Zoom, like really, tracking it along the way. Either way can work for you. Some people are even using different apps to track their contacts. This is such a powerful image. And I really want you to look at the top one, the first, second, and then the last. You can take an image of this if you want, but 48% of salespeople never follow up at all, right? Only a quarter of salespeople make a second contact, and 80% of the sales are made on the 5th to 12th contact. I'm not a salesperson. I am an educator. Some people might think of them as a salesperson. Some people might be like, whoa, I'm not into sales, but we are offering incredible products here. It's what we're doing. And follow-up is so huge. It will make all the difference in your business. So make that list, reach out to people in the best way you can, follow up with them, and then work on dismantling your comfort zone. We have to smash our comfort zone. We have to always be growing and looking ahead. We have to be prepared, and we have to stay one step ahead of where we are if we want to succeed here. For me, that meant always visualizing doing things before I was ready, preparing, taking as many notes as I could. I love this quote so much. And then we just have to do it, right? We have to get the conference line, get the Zoom account, take the professional headshots so that when we're asked to be on a flyer, we're ready. Lead our first welcome call and lead our first launch call. Do the presentation. It took me 6 months before I stood up in front of a very small group of people in my hometown and did the presentation. That was way out of my comfort zone. It took me way longer than it should have, but I did it. Maintain humility. Here, the personal growth work is real, and we have to be committed to growing and letting go of old habits and taking on new healthy ones. And so sometimes we have to have hard conversations, and we have to be willing to stay in the trenches with the people in our business, whether they're upline, downline, to really have breakthroughs and to move through things and hold one another really accountable in the most loving way. Time management is key, even if we're starting and only scheduling, 10, 15 minutes, whether we're starting with 2 to 3 hours, we have to carve out the time in our day to do it. When I got started, I did it once my baby went to bed, and I would stay up from 9 until 1 in the morning, so fired up reaching out to people. So carve out that time and plan your logistics. If you need childcare, once we can travel again, if you need to figure out your travel plans, whatever the logistics are that are going to enable you to do this and really do it, I really encourage you to make that happen. I did all of this, and it has gotten me so much farther than I ever, ever, ever could have imagined that I would have been able to get. This is our final slide, you guys. This is what we are doing here. People are feeling separate, and people are feeling alone, and people are feeling isolated. And this community and this mission that we are on is truly the antidote. And I absolutely believe with all my heart that what we are doing is completely essential for humanity and for this earth to thrive. I think a lot of us are knowing right now why we're here, and knowing that it's not an accident that we've all come together around this incredible company and these amazing products and our beloved community. And so I thank you so much for having me, and it's been a total honor. And may we all rise together. Thank you so much.